Don't forget to check out our sponsor, The Health Blaze, at thehealthblaze.com. 100% all natural products from lotions, soaps, foot soaks, bath bombs, and much, much more. Use the promo code Goodfella1Boxing. Tell them your boy CJ Goodfella sent you. Get 18% off. We out.
All right, man. A judge dismissed the United States women's national team equal pay claims, threw it out today, at least partial of it. Let's talk about it. Reading for CNN. I'll link that article link in the description. Appreciate everybody for checking in. And if you need to follow me, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. If you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, a video question, just want to chop it up, all my social media links are in the description. But it says the U.S. national team fight for equality suffered a major blow Friday as the federal judge rejected the players' claim that they were paid less than the men's national teams. Claims by the players of unequal working conditions based on travel conditions, charter flights, hotel accommodation, support services, medical and training support can still go to trial. The United States Women's National Team originally filed a lawsuit against the United States Soccer Federation in March of 2019 with 28 members of the team listed as plaintiffs. Friday's ruling was issued in response to a motion for a summary judgment to dismiss the lawsuit by the Federation in the United States District Court of Central District of California, according to court filings. The lawsuit alleges that United Soccer Federation payment practice amount to the federal discrimination by paying women less than men for substantially equal work and by denying them at least equal pay, paying and training and travel condition, equal promotion of their games, equal support and development for their games, and other terms of condition to equal to the men's national team. However, Judge R. Gary Klausner, hopefully I said his name right, wrote in a decision that the members of the United States women national team did not prove wage discrimination under the Equal Pay Act because the women's team played more games and made more money than the men's team. The women's team also rejected a CBA, collective bargaining agreement, where they would have the same pay structure as the men team in favor of a different CBA clause in the wrote. The women's CBA guarantees that players will be compensated regardless of whether they play or match or not, while the men's CBA calls for players to be paid if they are called into camp to play and then participate in the match according to the summary judgment. So he continues to go on. Clausen wrote that the women were asking for a court to conclude that women were paid less than men because they had the women been playing under the men's CBA, they would have earned more money than they did under their own CBA. So, I mean, they all kind of reacted and all that type of stuff as well. And, he goes on to say this approach merely comparing to what the teams would have made under the other team's CBA is untenable. In this case, because it ignores the reality of the men's national team and the women's national teams bargaining for different agreements, which reflected in different preferences, and the women's national team explicitly rejected the terms they now seek and retroactively impose on themselves. This evidence is insufficient to create genuine issue of material fact for trial. So basically what he's saying is they rejected a pay scale or a collective bargaining agreement that would have had them on par on what the men were getting, but it sounded like they wanted their cake and eat it too. They wanted to still be paid and not have to show up and play. While the men had to show up and come to camp and play to be paid, women didn't have to. They get paid regardless. So they wanted a sweet deal. They didn't want, it sound like, the men's CBA. They wanted the men's CBA and the men's pay structure, but they didn't want the bull job to come with it, And should they still have great training facilities? Yes. Should they still have the same great mental support that the men get? Yes. The women are dogs. They be dogging people out. They be winning. Excuse my English. They be kicking ass and taking names later. They deserve to be treated on them planes like the men do. They deserve to have the same medical staff, the same hotel accommodations. I agree with all that. That should be a no-brainer. They should be fucking fighting to be treated like the men as far as health and all that. Now, as far as the pay scale, either you take the men's CBA or you don't. So the judge is right on that. Now, the medical and the hotel accommodations, they still can sue for that. And God willing, they will get it. But the whole CBA, either you take the men's CBA and deal with the bull job that come with it, or you stick with what you got. But with them being successful and winning as they do win, as we all know, they should be able to get a little play in there as well, too. They should be able to get what they want. You know, they ball. You know, they win. The men's don't win, but we all know men's sports is more popular because men are going to support men's sports. What the problem with women's sports is, in the WNBA and women's soccer and all that, is that the women don't support the sport like the men support the men's sport. That's the problem. If they able to get the women to support women's sport, you know, if my memory serves me correctly, there are more females than males in the United States. But females are not as into it. The average female is not into sports like your average male is. That's the problem. They asking males to support female sports, but when the men are faster, it's more physical, they jump higher, they dunk. Men are more used to that. It's hard to get used to the WNBA and they plan to get below the rim. And it's just a God-honest assessment of it. So they shouldn't be trying to ask men to support women's sport. If the women support the sport and they come to the sport, the men will follow. You know? But they should be able to get their own CBA they fucking want to get if you a winner. They should be able to, you know, tweak that CBA, but it ain't always that way. Life ain't fair. So they should take the men's pay scale, and you know, the one downfall about it is if you don't play, you don't get paid. Under the women's, if you don't play, if you do play, if you do or don't play, you still get paid. With the men's CBA, if you don't pay, you don't get paid. So, you know, that is what it is on that part. But I'll link the article in the description. But hopefully they get equal training facilities and medical support and all that stuff. But don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all those links there. Want to make a donation, Cash App, PayPal in the description. Best way to donate, share the video. Don't forget the CNN article is in the description. And let me know what you guys think about this ruling. They're going to keep fighting. One time for the one time. Goodfellas Sports TV. Appreciate the love, support. Share the videos. It's the best way to donate to the channel. And let me know what you think in the comment section about this situation.